Hi there, my name is Sarah, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a teeny tiny little travel watercolor palette. So to make your divided tins, which you'll see in the photos or in the video, basically we've taken half pans and added a little divider in the half pan so that you can have 8 colors in the space where you would normally have 4 half pans. So you just need to find a piece of somewhat stiff plastic and cut it down to a size that approximately fits your half pans. Then you can use sandpaper to get a more exact fit. Once you've done that, you need to glue your plastic divider into the middle of your half pan using some kind of waterproof glue. So we use a Loctite. It's like a super glue, but it's a little bit more flexible. You could also use E6000. Super glue would be okay. It's something that's durable and waterproof. We also let the dividers stick up out of the half pan slightly, and this just makes it easier to get your pans out of your palette, which you'll see me doing later. So when you glue your divider in, you need to use enough glue that it seals around the plastic, but not so much that it's getting gloopy or taking up a lot of space for your paint, because you have half as much space for each color now. So you want to take up the least amount of space possible. So run your glue around all 3 sides in the middle of your half pan, and then stick your plastic in and let it dry. Make sure it's straight. I'm just adjusting the divider. It needed a little bit more of taken off of the edge. You can also use an X-Acto knife to help get your glue into the edges if you need to. So here I'm filling my, we'll call them quarter pans. I'm filling my quarter pans. I've decided to go with a warm triad, a cool triad, and then my favorite green and my favorite burnt sienna. So I'm using a lemon yellow for the cool yellow and new Gamboge for the warm yellow. And I'm putting the colors in the same pan. So the 2 yellows are in the same pan, the 2 reds are in the same pan. I'm using Quinacridone Rose for my cool red and Alizarin Crimson for my warm red. So I'm putting in the blues now. I'm using French Ultramarine and Phthalo Blue Green shade. I will note that the red, the Alizarin Crimson shade that I use isn't the most light fast color. Unfortunately, Alizarin Crimson is a known fugitive color. However, I didn't have an alternative available to me at the time. I will probably replace it with a Paraline red at some point. But for now, for sketchbook work, the Alizarin Crimson will be fine. So there's my 2 triad sets done, and now I'm gonna add my green and my bright sienna. The green that I like to use is green Apatite Genuine. This color is amazing for any kind of foliage. It's such a one-stop color because it's a green color, but it separates into a green and a brown, and it has all these different shades in it, so it makes it easier to get natural looking greens without so much mixing. In this case, it's very helpful because we only have 1 green. We could mix other greens, but this way you don't have to. I'm using Sennelier Burnt Sienna. I've had a hard time finding a good burnt sienna that I like. This is the one I've settled on for now. It's not as vibrant because of the Sennelier color. It's not as vibrant as some of the other choices available, but it'll be great for mixing grays, and it's a good choice for this project. Now I'm using a pin just to settle out all of the colors and flatten them out so that they dry nicely into the pans. I like to use a pin for this. Some people use toothpicks, but I find that it takes more color out of the pan when you remove the toothpick than if you use a pin, and I think the pin does just as good a job. Just making sure that the color makes it all the way into the corners of the pans. It'll help it dry more evenly that way. So the tin that I'm using for this project is a little mint tin that I got from my local art store that has Bob Ross on the cover. You can use any tin that you want. This is the best size tin to hold 4 half pans. I am considering upgrading to a larger tin that will hold 6 half pans, and then I would put 12 colors into my tin. And this is just a little bit of me mixing my triads so you can see the colors I've chosen and how they work together. So this is my cool triad. This is the lemon yellow, the Quinacridone rose, and the Phthalo blue. I'm sorry for the shaky camera. I was filming this on my own as I was painting, so really gorgeous green with the lemon yellow and the Phthalo blue. And really nice purple as well. Now I'm doing my warm trio, so I've got the new Gamboge, And my Alizarin Crimson. And ultramarine blue. I think I'm using French ultramarine. And in case you don't know, the difference between French ultramarine and just ultramarine blue is usually the French ultramarine granulates a little bit less. I prefer the more granulating ultramarine blue, but I don't have any in a tube. So French ultramarine it is. And if you look back at my cool trio color wheel, the colors are starting to settle in and they're really gorgeous. Yes, I am lazy mixing on my paper. I am not sorry. Now I'm showing off the green. This is the green Apatite Genuine. And my Sennelier Burnt Sienna. You can see it's just a little weaker compared to the others. And I'm just showing here how you can pull the pans out of the tin very easily because we've made the dividers stick up out of the trays. This also helps prevent contamination between the two colors, especially with like the green and the burnt sienna. So here I'm unpacking my little kit that I've put together. So there's my paint tin. And I've got a Raphael travel brush. That's a size 2, I think. Little eraser. This is a little extending ballpoint pen, so it's waterproof. Great for sketching. And a mini pencil, mechanical pencil. I might replace this with something a little smaller. It takes up quite a bit of space in the pouch. And some washi tape so I can do tape borders. And I have this little mini Stonehenge watercolor paper pad that just barely fits in this pouch. But it's 100% cotton paper. It's really great. It doesn't handle so well with erasing, so I recommend very light sketching if you're going to use this paper. But yeah, that's my kit.